available at Rocks. Rocks.
He didn't return. He didn't return to the field. You won one game out of the 6 that Tua missed. So to be joking about a situation where you're talking about an injury-prone quarterback that can't stay on the field and can't win when he's not on the field, I don't see how the Dolphins next year can even go into next year with Tua definitively as their quarterback. Like, if it's up to me, I'm Chris Greer. I'm calling the Packers. I'm inquiring about Aaron Rodgers. I'm calling the Ravens. I'm seeing what it takes to get a deal done with Lamar Jackson. I know he has his own injury concerns. I get that. But I just don't think if you're right now the Dolphins, you can really bank on Tua being healthy for a full 17-game slate plus the playoffs and play well enough for you to get into the postseason and be a real threat. I just don't think that we've seen enough right now injury-wise for him to and for you to feel super comfortable with Tua being your guy next year, let alone a contract extension. Like, imagine that locking up your future with
Hi, it's Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 Spencer Dupuis. When I got into a car accident and needed to get another vehicle, I wanted to go somewhere I could trust. So I went to the Heffley Motor Company at 993 Hedgesville Road.
As a first-time car buyer, I really didn't know what to expect. But at Heffley, they treated me like family. Every step in the process was seamless. Not only did they give me a great deal, but they also helped me secure an amazing interest rate. Now I know firsthand why Heffley has such a great reputation in this community.
I ride with Heffley Motor Company, so you should too.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP North Side at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg is your favorite place to have a great meal, a good time, and to catch all the games. Join us Mondays for 75-cent wings and follow your favorite team from the bar on our 17 TVs located all throughout the bar or from the outdoor fire pit. Ollie's has great food and drink menus and features specials for every day of the week, including Saturdays when you can get a 16-ounce ribeye steak grilled the way you want it for just $24.95. That's Ollie's VIP North Side at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg. We'll see you for the game.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, CMA Honda of Winchester, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Hagerstown Ford, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, and WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
Good evening from Washington High School for tonight's West Virginia High School girls basketball Region 2 Championship in Class Quad A on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube as we welcome you in to the countdown to tip-off brought to you by Sunset Water Services, proudly installing water softeners in Martinsburg and Berkeley County since 1989, as well as our entire broadcast tonight being presented by the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers. Phone them at 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com. Appreciate their help for giving us the opportunity tonight to broadcast this game as the Washington Lady Patriots host the Martinsburg Bulldogs. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me on the call is Nick Verzolini. Our cameraman tonight is Dylan Bishop, and back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis. We're back for another regional championship, Nick. So is Washington, as last year they had the opportunity to make the state tournament for the first time in school history against Spring Mills. Fell just short in overtime, but now for the first time in school history they get to host a regional championship as they won the section last week 47-40 over the Jefferson Cougars. But on the other side, Martinsburg trying to get back to the state tournament for the first time since 2020 under first-year head coach Ronnie Fitzpatrick, who was the assistant coach for Musselman during that 2020 season.
Yeah, it's a excellent matchup, I think, tonight between Washington and Martinsburg. Two teams that split the regular season. Obviously, the second game wasn't as close as the first one, but these are teams that match up pretty well on paper. It's been a Martinsburg team that seems to be getting better and better each game, even when they don't win. They give, a really good battle, and it's a Washington team that has a lot of talent and at times has definitely looked like the best team in Section 2 and really the second best team overall, but at times has kind of struggled, especially early in the year. But it seems like they're starting to pick some things up, despite the fact that the Patriots don't have a ton of players on their roster. They're a small team. They don't have a JV team. All that kind of working against them, but they still have found a way to make it this far and have a good chance, I think, to win tonight, at least based on the two teams on paper. But, it should be a fun game. I think we'll get a good competitive basketball game. We've seen these teams battle all season in the EPAC and play pretty similar results, so it should be a good game tonight, Colin. I'm looking forward to it.
All four regions in action tonight with their two championship games. Here in Region 2, the other regional championship is the Jefferson Cougars at the Spring Mills Cardinals. Spencer Dupuis will do his best to give you some scores on that one at halftime as well as during the postgame. In Region 1, you have Buchanan Upshur at Wheeling Park and Morgantown at University. In Region 3, it's South Charleston at Woodrow Wilson and Princeton at George Washington. And in Region 4, it's Parkersburg at Spring Valley and Cabell Midland at St. Albans, as it looks like might have a little bit of an earlier start as the warm-ups are already underway, at least for the Washington Patriots. The time for the 20-minute countdown's already started too. Martinsburg still in the locker room, so let's step aside, take our first 2-minute break, and then be back for the coaches' interviews. You're tuned into the West Virginia High School Girls Basketball Region 2 Championship in Quad A on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Monday, Karaoke Tuesday, Steak Night Wednesday and Sunday, Thursday night Boneless Wing Night, and on Friday and Saturday nights, there'll be a DJ and or karaoke. And remember, Monday through Friday, happy hour, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
Welcome back to Washington High School for tonight's West Virginia High School Girls Basketball Quad A Region 2 Championship. Let's now get into our coaches' interviews brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's is fast, fresh, friendly. We'll start with the home team head coach, Rashawn Edwards of the Washington Patriots. Now joined by the head coach of the Washington Patriots, Rashawn Edwards. Coach Edwards, a lot of history has been made this year. We just talked about it before starting this. Not only do you guys get to host a sectional championship game for the first time in program history, a win today would mean that it's your first appearance in state tournament history. How much does that mean to you being a first-year head coach with this team and those being possible potentially?
It does mean a lot. I'm proud of the girls. We've been through a lot of adversity this year, so I'm just proud of them, and I want it for them. I want it for them. They've earned it. They've fought hard all year long. There are plenty of times where they could have folded, but they didn't. They responded, and here we are. So I want it for them.
Even though you weren't the head coach last year, this team was in the same position, a regional championship game on the road. It came down to overtime against Spring Mills. Unfortunately, Washington fell short in that one, but it's been a change this year and a turnaround and another opportunity. So what's your team need to do to get a win tonight against Martinsburg?
We know they're going to come in ready to go. So we have to do our job, both ends of the floor. We have to defend at a high level and limit our turnovers. I think we'll be okay.
In the regular season, the two meetings, you guys split the head-to-head. The one at Martinsburg was a win for the Bulldogs. The one here was a win for you guys. Just in those two games, what did you feel like your team did differently?
Definitely defended better. We defended much better the second game. We were able to kind of get some runouts and get some easy buckets. But we have to play defense. I mean, that's just bottom line. We're not going to advance. We're not going to advance in the playoffs if you don't defend. And that's been a point of emphasis for us. And they've responded to that. They did a good job of that last week at a sectional game. So we need to continue to keep that same mentality up this week or tonight as well.
With that being said, again, it's the third meeting between you guys. How tough is it to do something that they haven't really seen in a third meeting?
It just comes down to honestly, it comes down to execution. We have to do the little things, and I think they kind of take care of themselves. Just from making sure we communicate on defense, we rebound the basketball, limit them to one shot and done, and then I think everything else will take care of itself.
What are you most excited for tonight?
I just want it for them, mainly. They, like I said before, they've worked extremely hard this year. We've asked them to do a lot. We've asked them to grow up. So I just want it for them, and everything that we've gone through a lot, internally. So we want to make sure that I want them to experience the whole process. I want them to get to Charleston and experience something that the school hasn't done before, and this will be good for the kids moving forward.
Anything else, Coach Edwards?
No, it's good luck to Bulldogs, and we'll be out here ready to go.
All right, thank you, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Now joined by the head coach of the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Ronnie Fitzpatrick. Coach Fitzpatrick, a win tonight would mean that your team's in the state tournament. What are you most excited for about tonight's game?
Just that opportunity. At the beginning of the year, you set those goals, and that was one of our goals, is to get to the state tournament. We got a very tough opponent against us tonight, so it won't be easy. But everything's all in front of us, and that's one of our goals. So they'll be checking one of our boxes. The young ladies have worked extremely, extremely hard all year, so they deserve this opportunity. They deserve a chance to, work their way to states.
The last time Martinsburg made a state tournament was 2020 when they won the regional championship against Musselman, a team that you were assistant coach for and a team that your daughter played for this time around. You now, your first-year head coach is the Bulldogs, so just walk us through that and just the emotion of that all to this moment now in a different position.
Yeah, it's really been a whirlwind. The opportunity, presented itself over the summer. Embraced it, went in, interviewed. Was lucky enough to win the job. The administration had been great. Another thing that I'd like to point out that goes unsaid, and he'll probably kill me for this, but Kyle Triggs has been great. He has been a huge support system, behind the scenes and helping us get things started. So I'd really like to thank him. I've told him that a few times, and it's just that helps you get off the ground. Then having a good staff behind you. Coach Hill has been great. We call her Coach Bear. She's been awesome to help get off track. And then my right hand, Coach Beast is what we call him. It's been huge. His player development, his calm, his energy, his focus, attention to detail is really why we sit where we sit today.
For the game tonight against Washington, it's the third time getting to play the Patriots this year. In the regular season, you guys split the two meetings. What's your team need to do to get a win tonight?
Play defense. Play defense, play defense, play defense. It's going to be about controlling the pace, playing our game, of course, getting, touches in the lane, That comes from driving. That comes from putting the ball in our bigs' hands. And then again, playing defense, good sound defense, move your feet. They got 3 phenomenal guards that can penetrate and shoot from the outside. So we just got to do our responsibilities. But we've worked at it all year. They've improved on it, and they know the task at hand. So I like it. I like our opportunity.
All right, anything else, Coach Fitzpatrick?
No, again, like I always say, thank you guys for supporting women's basketball. I think the sport has grown. And we don't have these opportunities unless you guys put us on the right platform. So I appreciate that, and thanks for everything this year.
Thank you, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Again, that was our coaches' interviews here on the countdown to tip-off. We'll take another 2-minute break. You're tuned in to West Virginia High School Girls Basketball Class Quad A Region 2 Championship on Talk Radio WRNR, WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market. Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you or someone you know suffers from the disease of addiction, help is available from the Berkeley County Quick Response Team, with peer recovery coaches and support promptly to the homes of those who've recently experienced an overdose. This collective effort towards recovery brings resources and services to the community, including naloxone and treatment options. Call 304-267-1313 or visit the Berkeley County Recovery Resource Center, 400 West Stevens Street, Martinsburg. The Berkeley County Quick Response Team is funded through a DHHR grant with the Berkeley Morgan County Health Department.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
Washington High School for tonight's Quad A Region 2 Championship between the Martinsburg Bulldogs and the Washington Patriots. Again, we'd like to thank the Skinner Law Firm for being our presenting sponsor tonight. Injury and consumer rights lawyers, phone them at 304-245-6613. Go to skinnerfirm.com. If it wasn't for them, we would not be able to be broadcasting this game for you on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. So again, our thanks go out to the Skinner Law Firm. Colin McLaughlin here alongside me is Nick Verzolini. Our cameraman, Dylan Bishop, and back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis. Just under 7 minutes until tip-off in this regional championship, so let's now get our keys to the game. The key to your next car is at Heffley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Spencer rides with them, so you should too. Nick, what are your keys to the game?
Well, I think starting with the visitors, Martinsburg, I think they got to use their height to their advantage. I mean, you have Cadence Bradley sitting at 6'5", Addison Strovel 5'11". Even Caleb Fitzpatrick, from a guard perspective, is 5'9". And you compare that to Washington, whose tallest player is Madison Hardy at 5'11". So Martinsburg has the clear size advantage in height, and Bradley and Strovel. So they should be able to, use that to their advantage and get big production from those two players down low. And then I think you got to slow down the Washington shooters. When we saw game one, which was a win for Martinsburg, you held both Rivera, Hairston, or all three, I should say, between Rivera, Hairston, and Adams under 10 points. In game two, 2 of those players got 20 and Hairston got 11. So if you can keep those shooters in check, slow down the pace of the game, that would really help Martinsburg get a win tonight. For the Patriots, it's kind of the opposite. I think they got to win the rebound battle somehow, keep Martinsburg off the glass, especially on the offensive glass. You don't want too many extra chance opportunities for the Bulldogs. And then you got to get your role players involved. In Game 2, a big reason why Washington won, not only did you get the 23 from Adams, the 20 from Mary Rivera, you saw 11 from Hairston, you saw 6 from Michaels, who had 0 in Game 1, you saw 6 from Hardy, who had 2 in Game 1, Toby poured in 3, Skinner got 2, she didn't play in Game 1, so overall, Washington saw a little bit more balance in that second game, and I think that's always important when you're led by 2 players in Mary Rivera and Lexi Adams, who both average in double figures. If you can get those other scorers involved, it really can be a difference maker.
Yeah, Rivera averaging 11 points, and then Lexi Adams leading the way for Washington with 14.1 points. Let's now transition into our players to look out for, brought to you by Sutton and Janelle, brought to you by the Skinner Law Firm here tonight. Let me get that read back up for you. They are injury and consumer rights lawyers. Phone them at 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com.
Yeah, for Martinsburg here tonight, it's got to be Cadence Bradley for me. In Game 1, she scored 12 points against the Patriots, and it was a win for Martinsburg. I think they need 15 to 20 out of her tonight, especially if it's a good shooting night for Washington. You're going to need Bradley and Strobel, I think, both to score in double figures to really establish and counter what Washington's able to do. So in particular, though, I think Cadence Bradley's going to have to be a difference maker. And then on the Washington side, I'm going to go with Lexi Adams. She's been your best scorer all season long. She had 23 in that winning game for Washington against Martinsburg. Last time we were here, she played really well against Hedgesville. So I think Adams is a key player. She only scored 8 in that first game. Mary Rivera's coming off the bench tonight, so we don't know what the reasoning is behind that, but Adams then will have to get off to a quick start for Washington to get off to a good start.
Yes, as the winner of tonight's game will be one of the 2 teams to represent Region 2 in the state tournament. If it's Martinsburg, it'd be their first time back in the state tournament since 2020. If it's Washington that gets to win tonight, it will be their first time in school history. Let's take another 2-minute break, and we will come back and give you the starting lineups. You're tuned in to the Quad A Region 2 Championship on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
And the streak continues! CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on a bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
Welcome back to Washington High School. As we continue the countdown to tip-off, let's get into tonight's starting lineups brought to you by the Marius Group. Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. From Martinsburg, your starting five is number 10, Brooklyn Medina, number 15, Caleb Fitzpatrick, number 21, Tiana Sanabria, number 33, Addison Shrovel, number 34, Cadence Bradley. Martinsburg comes into tonight's game 9-15 overall, 6-6 in the conference, coached by first-year head coach Ronnie Fitzpatrick. Now for the Washington Patriots, starting tonight, number 5, Addison Skinner, number 10, Ariana Hairston, number 15, Lexi Adams, number 24, Madison Hardy, and number 35, Kendall Itobi. Washington 11-11 overall, 7-4 in the EPAC, coached by first-year head coach Rashawn Edwards. Let's step aside and take another 2-minute break. And when we come back, it'll be time for the tip-off of the West Virginia High School Girls Basketball Quad A Region 2 Championship. Again, we're back in 2 minutes.
You can play, work, and explore without joint pain. Whether it's a strain, sprain, or fracture, WVU Medicine, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine can help you live without joint pain. Our expert team of surgeons offer the exceptional care you expect for the injuries you don't, specializing in joint replacement, sports and traumatic injuries, hip and knee disorders, foot and ankle surgery, hand and wrist surgery, and shoulder reconstruction. Call 304-725-BONE today to learn how you can live without joint pain.
This is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
Welcome back to Washington High School as we get ready for the opening tip-off, brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com. Martinsburg in the all-black uniforms, Washington in the all-white uniforms as we get ready for the Quad A Region 2 Championship. Opening tips in the air, won by Bradley, goes into the hands of Washington Skinner, though. As the Patriots start with the ball. Quickly going into the left corner, it's Lexi Adams trying to swing it to the right side. Pass tipped into the hands of Skinner. Skinner finds Itobi. Itobi's shot missed as the first shot of the game, brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-5131. Martinsburg with the ball at Sanabria at midcourt, running the offense for the Bulldogs. She picks up her dribble, looks to her left, and passes to Medina. Medina fakes the pass, now bounce passes it to Bradley at the top of the key. Her pass goes to the left wing for Sanabria. It's tipped out of bounds by Adams. Remains Martinsburg ball.
So Martinsburg started the game defensively in a 3-2 zone. Washington coming out. It looks like a man-to-man defense.
Sanabria to inbound for Martinsburg. Pass deflected and stolen by Washington. It's Harrison going back the other way. Floats a pass to Lexi Adams in the left corner. She loses the ball, goes out of bounds. Turnover, Martinsburg ball.
Yeah, she never really had it. I think she was already thinking about shooting that ball before it got into her hands.
Adams only a freshman on this team. Leading scorer, though, for Washington at 14.1 points per game. Full court press for Washington. The ball comes in front of us here on the near side to Fitzpatrick. She breaks the timeline as triple team. Finds Santabria. Santabria to Medina for three in the left side. No good off the rim. Rebounded, however, by Strovel. Her shot misses. Rebounded by Atobi in the paint. And now we have a whistle blown with 6:56 to go in the first quarter, and it looks like it's a foul against the Martinsburg Bulldogs.
Yeah, so what? A little bit of a 1-3-1 look for Washington on the press. Martinsburg's going to counter with like a 1-2-2, it looks like. Just a little bit of pressure, not as much as what Washington was going for, but
that foul was against Cadence Bradley, her first, team first for Martinsburg. Hairston with the ball for the Washington Patriots at the left wing beyond the arc. She now passes it to Skinner. Skinner back to Hairston. Hairston dribbles once, goes to the right elbow for Hardy. Hardy kicks it out to Adams. Adams pump fakes, drives to the right baseline, finds Atobi in the paint. Her shot off the front of the rim. No good, rebounded by Bradley for Martinsburg.
It was a really good no-look from Lexi Adams, but couldn't convert the layup. And I mean, both teams seem to be a little bit nervous here early on, Colin.
Yep, both teams still scoreless now at the 6:15 mark in the first quarter. Santabria with the ball, passing it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick overhead passes it over to Medina now. She's at the volleyball line, more close to midcourt than the three-point line. She dribbles in closer. Finds Santabria at the left wing, who now kicks it over for Bradley. Bradley spins around, dribbles once, and we have an offensive foul called away from the ball at the 5:57 mark in the first. That's the second team foul against Martinsburg. And that's against Brooklyn Medina, her first.
Looked like she maybe like pushed off away from the ball, which resulted in that foul.
Harrison to Skinner. Skinner's pass tried to go back to Harrison. It's intercepted by Medina. Medina right side layup, no good. Rebounded in the paint. Shot back up is good. Martinsburg takes the early 2-0 lead. And that was Santabria with the first 2 points. Adams to Skinner. Skinner thinks about a three, decides to pass it back to Adams. Back to Skinner. Three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Hardy. Hardy kicks it out to Hairston. Hairston slows it down for Washington. And I'll pass it to Adams at the top of the key. 2-0 Martinsburg at the 5:20 mark in this first quarter. It's Skinner with it. Passes to the left side for Hairston. Hairston trying to look down low. The defensive pressure of the 3-2 zone by Martinsburg, not letting anybody open.
Looks like more of a 2-3, and they're just kind of extending it quite a bit.
Adams for three from the right wing. Around the rim, no good. Tipped. And it stays alive with the Patriots. Trapped in the corner, Skinner. She finds Hairston at the wing. Hairston drives in, puts up a floater. It hits the back of the rim, stops for a second, and then rolls in. It's now a 2-2 ball game between Washington and Martinsburg. Ball stolen. Adams, 2v1. Passes it to the right side. Layup by Hardy off the side of the backboard. No good. Rebounded, though, by Hardy. She kicks it out to Itobi. Itobi shot no good. Rebounded by Strovel. Strovel gets tied up with Hardy. Possession arrow gives it to Martinsburg. 4:32 to go in this first quarter. It's still 2-2 between Martinsburg and Washington.
Well, so far, Washington is winning the rebounding battle because Martinsburg's playing that zone defense. It makes it more difficult to find somebody to box out and rebound.
Medina and Santabria pass it back and forth in the backcourt. Medina will now break the timeline, try to float it all the way across to Fitzpatrick. She does so, and then a foul immediately after by Harrison. That's her first, team first for Washington. Your first quarter presented by Brown Funeral Home and Cremation, Robert Fields & Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranton, proudly serving the area since 1880. Martinsburg to inbound to Fitzpatrick at the top of the key. She pump fakes, wants to drive in, picks up her dribble, now kicks it out for Santabria. Santabria slows down the offense for Martinsburg, finds Medina. Medina goes down low to Bradley. She posts up, gets double teamed, the shot's good, and the foul. Martinsburg now leads 4-2 over Washington, and that'll send Cadence Bradley to the line for the and one.
Well, if Bradley can get that look, I mean, nobody's going to block her shot in the EPAC. So if she can get that kind of shot to fall, she's pretty much unstoppable. It's just a consistency thing at times for Bradley.
I call that foul against Hardy, her first, team second for Washington. Free throw by Bradley, no good. Rebounded by Strovel. Her first shot misses. Gets her own rebound. Second shot, no good. She gets the third rebound, but they blow a whistle and a foul down low. It looks like it's over the back against Strovel. That's her first, team third for Martinsburg.
Strovel's doing a pretty good job overall. She had a great little spin move to grab that initial offensive rebound, just couldn't finish underneath.
4 minutes remain in this first quarter. It's Martinsburg 4, Washington 2. Lexi Adams with the ball on the left side. It's tipped out of bounds off the leg of Adams. Great job by Strovel to reach in and get that one.
And she took away really any lane Adams had to the basket, and we still haven't seen Mary Rivera here early. So, again, we don't know what the reasoning is for her not starting, but definitely a player you need in the game having your point guard.
Yep, she's dressed tonight, not injured, I was told. Just was told not starting. Fitzpatrick, right corner three for Martinsburg. Airballed, bounces, recovered eventually by Medina. Medina to Santabria. Santabria slows it down. Now passes the left side for Medina. Medina gets tied up with Adams. Jump ball, possession error, Washington. Our first quarter also brought to you by CMA's Honda of Winchester at 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving lives forward.
Here she comes.
And here comes Mary Rivera in for the Washington Patriots. And a whistle blows, and they're going to tell Washington shot inwards that
she didn't wait for them to call her in.
She has to tuck in her shirt.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
So she had to step out to tuck in her shirt. They did not allow the substitution, so she's still on the bench. Washington with the ball. Skinner from the free throw line. Shot no good. Rebounded by Martinsburg. Cadence Bradley. Santabria bringing it up the floor for the Bulldogs. Gets a pick by Bradley. Now goes in front of the bench of Washington and is fouled.
Yeah, Hardy's got to get there a little bit quicker. Take away that sideline. She didn't, which forced her to foul.
Now Rivera can check in, but that's the second foul against Hardy.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, Hardy isn't a huge scorer, but she did have 6 points in the win for Washington.
Santabria to Bradley at the left elbow. She loses it, but it goes into the hands of Medina. Medina bounce passes to the right corner for Fitzpatrick, who then passes over for Strovel. Strovel to Bradley. Around the horn they go. It's Santabria on the left side. Give and go to Bradley. Bradley. Jump hook is good. Cadence Bradley extends Martinsburg's lead to 6-2 with 2:40 to go in this first quarter.
I mean, that should be Martinsburg's play every single time they're down the court.
Yep, she has 4 of the 6 points tonight for Martinsburg. It's Rivera with the ball, running the point now for the Patriots. She hands it to Hairston. Hairston looking over to her right side, picks up her dribble at the top of the key, tries to pass it to the elbow, intended for a teammate of Adams. It's stolen by Martinsburg. They go back the other way. It's Medina. Ball rolling around on the floor. 4 players diving for it. A whistle blows from behind the play. And so loud in here that they didn't hear it at first. Referee almost ran into Strovel, who didn't hear the whistle, but whistle blows, and it was a foul, it looks like, against Washington.
Yeah, called on Lexi Adams. That's her first. But right now, every loose ball is going to the Patriots, even though they're losing right now 6-2. They're giving a lot of good effort on the floor. I mean, that time you get a foul called, but still overall, I liked what Washington's doing intensity-wise.
Fitzpatrick for 3. It's good. Kayla Fitzpatrick enters the score column, and Martinsburg now leads by 7 at 9-2 with 2 minutes to go in this first quarter of the Region 2 championship. Rivera tries to pass down low to Hardy. She gets wrapped up with Bradley immediately catching it. Possession error gives it back to Martinsburg. Again, this broadcast cannot be possible without the help of the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers. Call them at 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com. We appreciate their help for allowing us to be able to broadcast this game on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. Nelson to Santabria in the backcourt. Full court press again by Washington issued. Nelson.
Get it across.
Trying to get it across. Does not do so, and a 10-second violation is called against Martinsburg. That gives the ball to Washington.
I mean, it wasn't a trap press. It was a little bit of pressure, but Martinsburg's got to break that. You should be able to dribble past or maybe use your teammate for one pass, but they picked it up in the backcourt around the free throw line and then held it for about 2 or 3 of those seconds.
Hairston, Alexi Adams in the right corner. She'll drive through into the baseline, find a Toby in the paint, Toby banks it in. That ends the run of Martinsburg and makes it 9-4. The Bulldogs still on top of Washington with 1:10 to go in this first quarter. Santa Maria over to Nelson. Nelson finds Bradley across the timeline to avoid another 10-second violation. Her pass goes to Santa Maria. Santa Maria guarded closely by Rivera. And now they switch after a pick by Nelson. It's now Adams guarding Santa Maria. She'll pass it to Strovel. Strovel gets it down low to Bradley. Bradley fights for it, posts up, shot no good. Rebounded down low by Fitzpatrick. Her shot misses, then goes to Strovel. Her shot misses. Another Martinsburg rebound. Banking it in is Fitzpatrick. She now has 5 points, makes it 11-4. Martinsburg on top of Washington. Rivera in the left side, driving in. No look pass for Bradley. No good. Kicking it out to Hairston. That three-pointer also misses. Rivera tips it out of bounds. No, they say it last one out off Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
now the referees are going to review, and they changed the call, which was the right call. It should be Martinsburg ball, and it is. 26 seconds remain in this first quarter. It's Martinsburg 11, Washington 4.
Martinsburg's doing a lot of good things. I mean, they're getting their offensive rebounds. Now they're starting to finish their shots. Their defense has been very active, has made it tough for Washington. Washington's tried this press, and it did work last time, but we'll see.
Medina passes it to Strovel. Strovel at the right block, trying to go up, but she gets tied up. Jump ball called between her and Hairston. Possession error gives it back to Washington. 14.2 seconds remain in this first quarter. It's a 7-point lead for the Bulldogs. Quickly, Washington goes. It's Lexi Adams firing it into the left corner for Rivera. Her three is up, and air ball. Rebounded by Atobi. 6 seconds to go. Atobi kicks it out to Hairston. Hairston, right side elbow shot at the buzzer. No good, and that's the end of the first quarter. Martinsburg 11, Washington 4 is your score. We'll step aside, take a 1-minute break. You're tuned into the West Virginia Quad A Region 2 High School Girls Basketball Championship. Again, we're back in 1 minute.
Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in the United States each year. But do you know the radon levels in your home? Home is a place to live, love, and laugh, not a place to breathe air containing radon. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments are distributing free confidential radon test kits, and you can get yours at the Berkeley County Health Department office in Martinsburg and the Morgan County Health Department office in Berkeley Springs. Protect your home and family. Get your free radon test kit today. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer.
Region 2 Championship on Talk Radio, WRNR, and WRNR TV on YouTube. And again, this could not be possible broadcasting this game tonight without the help of the Skinner Law Firm. Injury and consumer rights lawyers, call them at 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com. Martinsburg will start with the ball to open up the second quarter as they lead 11-4 over Washington. It's Fitzpatrick now running the point for the Bulldogs. She picks up her dribble. Now tries to bounce pass over at the mid-court circle for Bradley. Bradley spins around, finds Medina to her right. Now Medina passes it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick gets to Medina, wide opens the lane. She goes right side layup. It's rejected by Rivera, and the ball bounces out of bounds. It remains Martinsburg ball.
Yeah, that's a good block. It looked like Brooklyn Medina was going to get an easy layup, but Rivera comes over and gets a rare block.
Left side, inbound pass to Fitzpatrick. She drives the baseline, puts up a shot. It's good. She now has 7. It's 13-4. Quickly back the other way. Right side layup, no good by Lexi Adams. Rebounded by Martinsburg's Cadence Bradley. 9-point lead for Martinsburg over Washington. These two teams split the regular season meetings. This one, however, with a state tournament bid on the line. Left side layup rejected from behind by Adams. Fitzpatrick goes to the court. No call for a foul. It goes out of bounds. Remains Martinsburg ball.
Yeah, tough no call, but I think overall Adams got all ball. I think Fitzpatrick kind of tripped up on her own.
Bradley gets the inbound, drives into the paint, puts up a shot, no good, tipped around, eventually goes into the hands of Sanabria from Martinsburg. She kicks it out to Bradley, goes over her head, stolen by Rivera. Rivera all alone, left side shot, no good. She kind of lost her balance, and now we have a foul called from behind. It looks like it's against Martinsburg. 6:57 to go in this second quarter. That foul goes against Martinsburg's Brooklyn Medina, her second, team fourth of the half.
I think. Go ahead, go.
Inbound to Rivera. Rivera will then pass to Michaels. Michaels swinging it around Harrison. Wide open three from the left wing off the front of the iron. No good. Rebounded by Fitzpatrick. She gets tied up with Bradley of Washington. Possession arrow gives it to Washington. What was your point, Nick?
I was going to say, it looked like Mary Rivera hit the wrong button on the PlayStation controller because she went to fake out a defender that wasn't there. I think she thought that maybe somebody was near her and then didn't take the easy layup right away, and that kind of threw off her timing.
Skinner's inbound, swatted right back at her. It goes over her head from Fitzpatrick. Stays Washington ball to inbound underneath their hoop. Skinner to inbound, looking to the left corner. It's deflected out of bounds by Strovel this time as the defensive pressure on point right now for Martinsburg.
Yeah, the intensity's been there on both sides, but Martinsburg's having a lot more success offensively so far. And that's really been obviously the difference. Washington's got to get going.
Harrison sends a long inbound pass to the right wing from the left side baseline to Rivera. She'll then give it to Skinner. Skinner back to Rivera. Rivera runs the point, gets a pick by Hardy, takes a three, almost banks it in. Shot no good though, rebounded by Bradley for Martinsburg. Martinsburg still leads 13-4 over Washington with 6:25 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, Washington's really struggling to break down the zone.
We have a jump ball, possession arrow, Martinsburg. Your second quarter brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just in Appliance Store any longer. Visit them at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, or go to Orsinis.com. Sanabria inbounds to Bradley. Bradley kicks it out to Medina. Medina pump fake, spins around, kicks it out to a wide open Sanabria for three in the right corner. It's good. 16-4, Martinsburg leads Washington. Largest lead of the night. Can Washington respond? No. Right side layup, no good by Harrison. She gets her own rebound. Now the ball stolen, dribbled off the foot, diving to the floor. Sanabria after dribbling it off her foot. She gets tied up with Washington's Rivera. Possession arrow keeps it with, gives it to the Patriots.
You can tell that both teams really want this one, and obviously a trip to the state tournament on the line, you should, because we've had like 4 or 5 jump balls already.
Harrison gets the inbound for the Patriots. Calls out triangle is the call from Coach Edwards. They slowly start their motion for this offensive play. It's Harrison running the point, looking to her right side, passes it to Rivera. Rivera guarded by Medina, gets it back to Harrison at the top of the key. She dribbles to the left side, finds Skinner at the right elbow. She pump fakes, steps over to her left, gets out from Bradley. Her shot up and good by Skinner. That's her first 2 points. Now makes it a 10-point lead for Martinsburg at 16-6.
That's the first time in a long time where Washington executed a zone offense. You got the ball into the middle with Addison Skinner. She made an excellent move and got a great shot off.
Bradley down low, double teamed, shots good, and the foul. Another opportunity at a 3-point play for Cadence Bradley. 18-6 now. Martinsburg leads Washington. .6'5" junior 3-point play as the free throw up and good. She now has 7 points, makes it 19-6. Martinsburg leading Washington.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Colin. Bradley's only a junior. She's getting better. She's gotten a whole lot better from last year to this year. And if she continues to progress, Martinsburg's going to be a problem.
Washington takes its first time out. We'll take it with them. A 30-second break. You're tuned into the Region 2 Championship presented by the Skinner Law Firm. We're back in 30 seconds.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Thinking about making that big move but don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris is a Martinsburg High School graduate and knows the local market, and he's proven it for the past 15 years at Milestone Real Estate Group. Looking to sell or buy a home? Phone 304-579-7349. That's 304-579-7349. Or go to callchrisross.com. Making milestones is our business.
Welcome back to Washington High School, as it's been all Bulldogs so far this first half, as Martinsburg leads Washington 19-6. Colin McLaughlin alongside me is Nick Verzolini. Our cameraman is Dylan Bishop, and back at the studio is Spencer Dupuis. Washington has the ball after the timeout.
Washington trying to get a little bit more height on the court. They bring Michaels and Hardy back in, because ideally you want to get the ball into the middle of the zone. That's where they struggle, but Skinner's kind of patrolling that area right now, and I think that's a good spot for her. She's got a nice jumper, and she's a pretty good passer, so she can pass down low the short corner if necessary.
Skinner trying to drive through, finds Hardy at the left block. Her shot's good, and the foul. Make it now 19-8. So that sends Hardy to the line for a three-point play, and that foul against Strovel, her second, team fifth of the half for Martinsburg.
Yeah, we haven't seen Adams, Rivera, and Hairston on the court too much together tonight due to Rivera not starting, so now Adams comes in for Michaels.
Hardy's free throw is up and good. Makes it another 10-point lead for Martinsburg at 19-9 with 4:54 to go in the second quarter. Nelson gets the inbound for Martinsburg. Starts her dribble, goes up the floor, breaks mid-court. Still dribbling, Nelson goes through her legs and then picks up her dribble. Finds Santabria. Santabria's fouled by Hairston. That's the sixth team foul on Washington Hairston's second. Fitzpatrick will inbound at first. A sub coming in for Washington. It's Kendall Atobi in for Hairston after that foul.
Yeah, it's her second, so, 4:42. We know Washington doesn't have a lot of depth. Only have 10 players on the roster, so you can't really have anybody get more than 2 fouls before a half.
It's Fitzpatrick with the ball, giving it to Bradley at the left elbow. She finds Strovel driving right baseline. Her shot no good. A whistle blows with 4:27 to go. A late whistle, too. Now it looks like it's against Washington's Kendall Atobi.
Yeah, it was kind of late, but it did look like Atobi may have made contact with Strovel on her way up. So I think it was the right call, but it did seem to be a little bit late.
That'll send Strovel to the free throw line to shoot two. First free throw up, and that one's good by Strovel to make a Martinsburg lead at 20-9 over Washington.
And that's her first point, but she's been very active on both ends of the floor.
Second free throw up, off the back of the rim, no good, rebounded by Hardy. Skinner to Lexi Adams for Washington, running the point now. She bounce passes it back to Skinner at the right wing. You get to right back out to Adams. Adams drives the lane, puts up a layup. It's no good, but she's fouled as she's helped up off the floor. 4:12 remains in the second quarter. That foul against Martinsburg's Cadence Bradley. That's her second, team sixth.
That's big.
That is big because you now have 3 starters with 2 fouls each in Bradley, Strovel, and Medina.
And not only that, but Bradley is the difference maker really in a lot of ways for Martinsburg. She's 6'5". Washington doesn't have a player to guard her on the defensive end. And offensively, she's your rim protector, which has made it really tough for Washington to get any easy baskets so far.
Adams' first free throw is good. That's her first points in the night as she's the leading scorer for Washington with 14.1. Second free throw misses. Ball almost goes out of bounds. Saved by Kendall Itobi, but it goes nowhere. And it goes out of bounds eventually. Martinsburg ball.
Yeah, good effort by Itobi, but now Washington's going to go to the 2-3.
It's a 10-point lead for Martinsburg at 20-10, leading Washington with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Washington's fans trying to get loud behind their Patriots. It's Medina with it for Martinsburg. Finds Bradley to Fitzpatrick. Long three from the right wing. Off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Kendall Itobi for Washington. Long pass to Lexi Adams. Quickly, Washington finding Rivera in the left corner. 3, no good. Rebounded by Medina, but it goes right to Rivera, and a whistle blows with 3:37 to go. Now it looks like it's a foul against Martinsburg. That's the team 7th, which means now Mary Rivera will have 1-and-1s.
Well,
that's Fitzpatrick's first foul.
Both teams in 1-and-1 from here on out, so the fouls have been picking up.
Rivera sinks the first free throw, makes it 20-11. Martinsburg up by 9 over Washington.
And, I mean, you kind of expect that in a regional championship game. You got to lay it all on the line because it's win or go home.
Second free throw is drained as well by Rivera. She now has 2 points, makes it an 8-point lead at 20-12. Martinsburg still on top of Washington.
Which I think could be another reason why Coach Edwards goes to the zone here. You're less likely to foul in a zone defense. We talked about Washington's lack of depth on the roster.
Bradley over to Medina. Medina pump fakes, drives in, left side layup, no good. Rebounded by Hardy. Hardy finds Rivera. Rivera quickly brings it up the floor for Washington. She's met by Medina. Dribbles to the left corner, pump fakes, kicks it out to Hardy. Hardy swings it over to Adams. Adams drives to right side, layup, banks in. She now has 3 points, makes it a 20-14 game. Martinsburg will use its first timeout. Step aside, take a 30-second break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Girls Basketball Quad A Region 2 Championship, brought to you by the Skinner Law Firm. We're back in 30 seconds.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome back to Washington High School here on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. Our other second quarter sponsor is the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers. Call them at 304-245-6613. Go to skinnerfirm.com. Martinsburg leads Washington 20-14 in the second quarter as we got a score update from the other Region 2 championship game. It is Spring Mills leading 23-12 over Jefferson. Spencer will keep you updated with that one at halftime as we resume action. It's Martinsburg ball after the timeout. Tiana Sanabria to bring it up the floor. He's at midcourt breaking the line. Fitzpatrick gets the pass from Sanabria, passes it back to her. Now to the left side's Medina. Medina dribbles once, finds Strovel. Strovel passes it back to Medina. It's lost, stolen by Washington. Rivera all alone in transition. Right side layup is good by Rivera. The run has brought Washington within 4 points now of Martinsburg. 20-16, 2:20 to go in this second quarter. Fitzpatrick with it for the Bulldogs. She bounce passes to Medina. Medina back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick from the free throw line. Shot around the rim and in, and the foul. Fitzpatrick now with 9 points and a 3-point opportunity. Makes it 22-16, Martinsburg leading Washington.
Kayla Fitzpatrick can play, and when she's on, she gives Martinsburg a real good dynamic of having a perimeter scorer. She's been on so far tonight.
She drains the free throw, makes it a 7-point lead at 23-16, Martinsburg leading Washington. Skinner will check back in for Washington for Bradley. Lexi Adams bringing it up the court now for the Patriots. Dribbling with her left hand, calling out the offense with her right. She switches, picks up her dribble, gives it to Skinner. Skinner to Rivera. Rivera over for Adams. Adams finds Rivera in the right wing. Back to Skinner. Over to the left wing now, Adams. Adams dribbles to the top of the key. Crashes in. Euro step layup, no good, but she's fouled with 1:49 to go in this second quarter. It might have been against Bradley.
That's 3. Oh, no,
that's
three.
Strovel, which is still her third foul.
Yeah. But the difference, Colin, for Washington over the last few minutes, they're either making a layup or getting fouled and going to the line. And that's been the difference. Early on, they were settling for too many jumpers against the zone. Now they're starting to get into the paint.
First free throw up and no good by Lexi Adams. Keeps it at 23-16. Second free throw off the back of the rim, no good as well. So she misses both. Rebounded by Fitzpatrick for Martinsburg. She'll bring it up the floor herself. Fitzpatrick picks up her dribble, passes it to Brooklyn Medina. Medina to Santabria at the right side. Santabria finds Strovel. Strovel dribbles once, gets it back to Santabria. Santabria loses her footing, has to pick up her dribble, finds Bradley in the paint. Bradley to Medina. Right side three, off the rim, no good. She gets her own rebound, dribbles to the corner. It's now double teamed, has to try to break out of it. Underhand passes it, and a foul is called. 1:18 to go in this second quarter. So that foul looks like against Lexi Adams. That's her second for Washington.
Yeah, she'll check down here with 1:18.
Yep, that's the team's ninth, so that sends Medina to the free throw line for the 1-and-1s. Medina's free throw up, off the back of the rim, no good. Tipped around, eventually recovered by Kendall Itobi for Washington. Rivera up the floor for the Patriots. Passing it back to Skinner, over to Rivera. Wide open left side three, it's good by Mary Rivera. That's her first three of the night. 7 points she has. It's now 23-19. Martinsburg still leading Washington with under a minute to go in the second quarter.
It's the first Washington three of the night as well, and now if you can get Mary Rivera going, that would really help the Patriots here.
Fitzpatrick driving the right side, loses the ball as she went up for a shot, and they'll say it's a foul with 48.9 seconds to go in the second quarter. And that is against Hardy, her third, team 10th, so now Fitzpatrick gets to shoot the double bonus. Fitzpatrick already with 10 points tonight for Martinsburg. First free throw up, rattles around the rim and in. She now has 11 points, makes it 24-19, Martinsburg leading Washington. Fitzpatrick gets the ball back for her second free throw. Takes a few dribbles. The second free throw is in the air, and it's good. She now leads the way with 12 points, extends Martinsburg's lead to 25-19 on top of Washington. Skinner handing the ball off to Rivera for Washington. She gets a pick, goes to the right wing, loses the pass. It's rescued by Martinsburg and stolen by Fitzpatrick as she goes into her bench. It's now Santabria driving and gets bumped, and they say she stepped out of bounds first. Great defense there by Conti to force her to go out of bounds. It's a turnover, Washington ball. 27.9 seconds remain in the second quarter. Washington possession. Skinner with it. At the midcourt line, she dribbles across to the front court for the Patriots. Gets a pick by Itobi. Loses her dribble. It's stolen by Strovel. Strovel to Medina. 3v2 goes Martinsburg. Finds Fitzpatrick. Left side layup too hard off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Santabria. Santabria to Strovel. Wide open three. Off the side of the rim. No good. Tipped around. Still being tipped. Goes out to Rivera and out of bounds. Last off her. But it doesn't matter as the horn sounds at the end of the half. It is Martinsburg 25, Washington 19. We'll step aside, take a 2-minute break, and be back for the halftime show. Martinsburg leads. Again, a 2-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia Quad A Region 2 High School Girls Basketball Championship on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304 263-4596.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
Welcome back to Washington High School for West Virginia High School girls basketball Quad A Region 2 Championship action at the half. Martinsburg leads Washington 25-19 as we welcome you into the halftime show presented by the Skinner Law Firm. Injury and consumer rights lawyers. Call them at 304-245-6613. Go to SkinnerFirm.com. Let's quickly give you your first half stats. Start with the Washington Patriots. Their leading scorer is Mary Rivera with 7 points, followed by Lexi Adams as well as Madison Hardy with 3 points each, and Kendall Itobi as well as Ariana Harrison and Addison Skinner all have 2 points each, total up the 19 points for Washington. For Martinsburg, the leading scorer is Kayla Fitzpatrick with 12 points, already over her average in points per game as she averages 11.5. She's already at 12. Cadence Bradley has 7, Tiana Santabria has 3, and Addison Strovel has the final point for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Quickly, Nick, before we send it to Spencer back to the studio, give us your first half stats. Or, excuse me, first half thoughts. My apologies.
I was going to say, you just gave the stats, Colin. I didn't have anything else.
Maybe you had something different.
But I'm on par with you. In terms of what I took away from that first half, I thought Washington came out with a very slow start, but give credit to the Martinsburg defense. It was a better second quarter for the Patriots, but the other thing is a better second quarter for Martinsburg as well. So Martinsburg's been pretty impressive. They're doing all the things that I thought they needed to do. They've limited the Washington shooting to just 1 3-pointer in the first half. They've gotten their offensive rebounds. They've gotten their second chance opportunities. If that continues, I think Martinsburg is going to pull this one out, but it should continue to be, I think, a close game throughout.
All right, 6 minutes remain on the halftime clock. Let's now take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, you'll hear from Spencer Dupuis. You're tuned into the Region 2 Championship on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Thinking about making that big move but don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris is a Martinsburg High School graduate and knows the local market, and he's proven it for the past 15 years at Milestone Real Estate Group. Looking to sell or buy a home? Phone 304-579-7349. That's 304-579-7349. Or go to callchrisross.com. Making milestones is our business.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Conveniently located right off 81 at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway, Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including happy hour 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts. Monday night is trivia night, Thursday night is wing night, and Wednesday and Sunday night is steak night.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
Welcome into the halftime scoreboard show live from the TV10 studios at halftime. Brought to you by the Mountaineer Pub at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway in Martinsburg. 25-19 to score in this Region 2 championship. Martinsburg on top as Washington, the home team. Everybody expected Washington to come out to an early lead, but Rivera not in the starting lineup could have been the reason for a slow start. On the other side of the region, in Berkeley County, currently at the Cardinal Coliseum at halftime as well. Going into halftime just about a few minutes ago. Spring Mills has a 25-17 lead over Jefferson as Jefferson continues to battle in that one. Both teams, Spring Mills took both games earlier in the season. Now we'll get you up to date some scores around Region 2. Wheeling Park leads Buchanan Upshur 40-17 at halftime. Also at halftime, St. Albans leads Cabell Midland. These scores just coming in, trying to go through, finding out the Quad A ones. Let me go check. I've yet to see any other scores. Okay, I got a halftime score. Morgantown over University by 4, 19-15 at the half. Woodrow Wilson Beckley over South Charleston. That is in Region 3. 34-20. Again, all these teams will move on. It looks like South Charleston, as I mentioned, is down 34-20. See if I can find anything else here quickly within Quad A. Doesn't look like there's any other score updates on Twitter from Quad A. But once again, at the half, it's Martinsburg 25, Washington 19. In the other region game, it's currently Spring Mills on top, 25-17. And that will do it here for the Mountaineer Grill and Pub halftime scoreboard show. After this 60-second break, we'll get you back out and get you set from Washington High School for a second half action where Martinsburg leads 25-19. Martinsburg trying to get back to the state tournament under first-year head coach Ronnie Fitzpatrick. Stay tuned. Colin McLaughlin, Nick Verzolini will have the call in this game presented by the Skinner Law Firm.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies. From small beginnings and over a century later, we maintain our dedication to our policyholders to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. Protecting everything from your home to your business has never been easier. Our team is here to ensure that you, your family, and your assets are taken care of. We enjoy giving back and doing our part to keep Martinsburg a great place to be.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
At the half, it is Martinsburg leading Washington 25-19 in this West Virginia High School girls basketball Quad A Region 2 championship. Again, this broadcast would not be possible without the support of the Skinner Law Firm and jury and consumer rights lawyers. Call them at 304-245-6613 or go to SkinnerFirm.com. Martinsburg starts with the ball to open up the third quarter. Santa Maria running the point now for the Bulldogs. She fires the pass over to Medina. Medina catches it. Doesn't dribble, gets it down low to Bradley. Bradley posts up against Hardy. Her shot no good. Rebounded by Hardy, who gives it to Harrison. Harrison will push the pace up the floor. Gets nudged by Fitzpatrick. No call. Harrison finds Adams. She pump fakes, drives the baseline, kicks it out to Skinner. Wide open three. Air ball to rebounded by Strovel.
It looked good, though. Skinner just didn't quite put enough on it. One thing that stood out to me about Lexi Adams is how good of a passer she is. So not only the leading scorer on this team, but she can really create for her teammates. She's had a few great passes that haven't exactly resulted in baskets, but still trying to create and make a lot of plays.
Fitzpatrick gets the handoff from Bradley, goes, drives into the lane, right side layup, no good, but she's fouled. That'll send Fitzpatrick to the free throw line to shoot two. She's had a solid night so far from the line. Already 3 for 3, the leading scorer for Martinsburg with 12 points. At foul against Skinner, her first team first of the half, and it looks like they changed it to being a foul on the floor.
I didn't really think she threw up a shot, so I think that's the correct call there.
So no free throws. Santa Maria to inbound for Martinsburg. Gets it Fitzpatrick. Her shot blocked by Hardy. Washington ball after the rejection. It's Adams finding Harrison. Almost throws it away. Harrison able to keep a hand on it. Now spinning around Harrison. Guarded very closely by Fitzpatrick. She has to get bailed out by Lexi Adams and hands it to Adams. Adams to Harrison, who ran over to the top of the key at the volleyball line to start the offense. It's Ariana Harrison with the ball for Washington. Already a minute 15 into the third quarter. Pass tipped and stolen by Bradley. Bradley. It was a little nudge to Hardy. Hardy looks like she might have hurt her finger, but it's Martinsburg ball. Strovel at the left block, up and in. Martinsburg scores first in the second half. It's Strovel with now 3 points, making it a 27-19 lead. Quickly back the other way, though. Itobi makes a shot. She now has 4, and the foul for a 3-point opportunity now for Kendall Itobi and the Washington Patriots.
After another great pass from Lexi Adams, setting up Itobi, who ran the floor well and got rewarded. But this game, Colin, playing much more like the first one between these two teams, which was the Martinsburg win.
Free throw no good, rebounded by Strovel. Strovel brings it to her chest and now has a jump ball. Possession error Washington as Hardy and Skinner surrounded Strovel after the rebound.
And this is more built toward a Martinsburg winnable game, in the 40s or 50s, opposed to anything higher than
Long
that.
pass to Harrison, over to Skinner for 3 from the right wing. Her shot no good, tipped out of bounds off Hardy. Washington will turn it over, give the ball to Martinsburg. 6:12 to go in this third quarter. It's Martinsburg 27, Washington 21. Santa Brio has her pass deflected. It still finds Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick now trapped. Jump ball, possession arrow with Martinsburg.
They called a foul that time.
They call it on Adams. That's tough for her. She now has 3 fouls. She'll have to take a seat on the bench.
And she's frustrated, obviously. This game sends you to the state tournament. So, she knows what she can do to help her team win. And having 3 fouls, she has to sit, though. You can't risk her fouling out.
It'd be the first time in school history if Washington can win tonight and make it to the state tournament. But right now, down by 6 at 27-21 against Martinsburg. Bradley was the intended receiver on the pass from Medina, but it's tipped out of bounds off Washington's Rivera. Stays Martinsburg ball.
Well, it started, though, with the tip by Hardy, and she's been very active on the defensive end. That's about 3 or 4 possessions in a row where she's gotten some sort of tip.
Medina gets the inbound at the top of the key, finds Santa Bria. She spins around, puts up a J. It's good by Tiana Santa Bria. Now makes it 29-21. Martinsburg up by 8 in the third quarter over Washington.
Yeah, somehow Santa Maria was able to settle herself enough to make that shot. It was a difficult shot, but a good one.
Skinner thinks about the 3, decides not to take it, gives it to Rivera instead. Rivera finds Harrison. Harrison, long 3 from the right wing off the side of the rim, no good. Ball tipped around into the hands of Bradley. She's tied up with Itobi. Jump ball, possession arrow, gives it to Martinsburg. Martinsburg trying to get back to the state tournament for the first time since 2020. Santa Bria with it. Floats a pass, intercepted by Kendall Itobi as she runs into Medina to get the ball. Knocks Medina to the ground, no call, Washington ball. It's now Skinner to Rivera. Rivera finds a wide open Harrison in the left corner. She swings it all the way back to the right corner for Rivera. Rivera tries to drive in, gets double teamed, finds Skinner at the top of the 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Almost out of bounds, saved by Rivera to Harrison. Harrison now crosses over Santa Bria, drives in, her shot rejected by Bradley. Going Medina, Medina from Martinsburg. From behind, it's stolen by Hardy. Hardy to Harrison. Harrison with the ball, finds Rivera in the left side. 3 is up, and it's good. Rivera, second 3 of the night, 10 points, makes it a 5-point game at Martinsburg 29, Washington 24, with 4 minutes to go in the third.
Well, you needed it from Mary Rivera, and she comes through for you, but it starts again. Great effort play from Madison Hardy to force the turnover and get the transition beginning for Washington.
Strovel to Bradley. Bradley thinks about the 3, decides not to take it, and a timeout is called by Martinsburg. Let's step aside and take a 30-second break. You're tuned into the Region 2 Championship. Your score, Martinsburg 29, Washington 24. We're back in 30 seconds.
30-second timeout. That's their first 30-second timeout.
I want to rock with you all night.
Martinsburg with 1:30, 2 fulls remaining. Washington with 2:30, 2 fulls.
Back in 10 seconds.
At the break, Janae Bradley checking into the game.
Welcome back to Washington High School for West Virginia High School girls basketball action, where you have the Quad A Region 2 Championship between Martinsburg and Washington here on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. After the timeout, it's Martinsburg ball. They lead Washington 29-24 with 3:50 to go in the third quarter. Santabria dribbles it off her foot after the inbound. It goes out of bounds. Great defense by Rivera to force the turnover. Washington ball.
Yeah, great play there by Mary Rivera. She seems to have settled into the game a little bit after not starting the game due to some reason that we don't know exactly, but she's done a great job, and they've needed her.
Skinner pump fakes, kicks it out to Rivera. She drives the right baseline, passes it off the foot of Bradley for Washington. It's recovered by Bradley, gives it to Skinner. Skinner passes it over to the left side. It goes through the hands of Harrison and into the bench of Washington. Martinsburg gets the ball after the turnover. Your third quarter brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com for more. Medina with the ball now for Martinsburg, passes it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick starts to dribble, then hands it back to Medina. Medina gets a pick, almost gets it stolen by Rivera, sees the lane open, puts up a floater from the right elbow. It rattles around and in from Brooklyn. Medina, that's her first 2 points, makes it a 7-point lead for Martinsburg at 31-24 over Washington with 3 to go in this third quarter. Skinner with the ball for Washington at the right wing. She dribbles once, finds Rivera running over to her, so she hands it to Rivera, back to Skinner. Skinner picks up her dribble, fires it across to the left side wing for Harrison. Harrison passes to the top of the key for Rivera. Rivera to Skinner, who bounce passes to Harrison at the elbow. Harrison now goes into the corner, gets trapped, has to find Skinner. Skinner bounce passes it to Rivera. Backpedals, now takes a long three. Tried to bank it in. It's no good. Rebounded by Nelson for Martinsburg.
Yep.
And she walks. Everybody in the gym knew it, including her. Turnover right after the rebound. Gives the ball back to Washington. Our other third quarter sponsor is Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361.
All right, so Coach Edwards is going to risk it. He's going to bring Lexi Adams back in with 2:35 to go in the third, and her sitting with 3 fouls.
Harrison with the ball, tries to drive the lane, loses her dribble, recovers it, kicks it out to Rivera. Three-pointer from the left wing, no good. Rebounded into the paint by Washington, and it is Michaels getting tied up with Fitzpatrick. Possession arrow keeps it with the Patriots. 2:12 to go in this third quarter. It's Martinsburg 31, Washington 24. Nick?
I mean, I know Harrison hasn't really had her shot tonight, but she's wide open from the top of the key. You got to be confident and take that shot. Washington, though, has had this possession for like a minute or so and haven't gotten any points.
Long inbound pass. Caught by Harrison, who gives it back to Adams. Back to Harrison, back to Adams. Adams shot up from the left elbow is drained by Alexi Adams. That's her first points of the second half. She now has 5 total. Puts it at a 5-point lead at 31-26. Martinsburg still on top of Washington.
Good-looking floater from Adams.
Medina wide open in the left side. Her three-pointer airballed, rebounded by Adams. Adams trying to go coast to coast. Kicks it out to Rivera. Rivera pump fakes. Long two off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Fitzpatrick. Martinsburg ball. However, it's stolen by Rivera. Her shot is good. Rivera now has 12 points. Makes it a one-possession game, and she'll go to the free throw line for an and-one opportunity.
You love the hustle from Mary Rivera to get that steal, one of the best players in the EPAC, and then get the and one. just relentless. After missing a shot that she usually makes, she sticks with it and gets the steal and then gets the and one.
Rivera to make it a 2-point game, and her free throw misses, rebounded by Medina. Medina to Bradley. Bradley finds Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick starts to dribble. Now will go across midcourt. Picks up her dribble, finds Sanabria. Three-pointer is good. Tiana Sanabria now has 8 points. That's her second three of the night. Makes it a 6-point lead again for Martinsburg at 34-28.
Sanabria has been real solid tonight, and Martinsburg's needed some scoring from the perimeter, and they've gotten it from her and Fitzpatrick.
Harrison picks up her dribble. Pass gets deflected, still finds Rivera. Under a minute to go in this third quarter. It's Harrison. Backpedaling now, picks up her dribble, and Washington will call a timeout. Let's take it with them. A 30-second break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Girls Basketball Quad A.
Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg is your favorite place to have a great meal, a good time, and to catch all the games. Join us Mondays for 75-cent wings and follow your favorite team from the bar on our 17 TVs located all throughout the bar or from the outdoor fire pit. Ollie's has great food and drink menus and features specials for every day of the week, including Saturdays when you can get a 16-ounce ribeye steak grilled the way you want it for just $24.95. That's Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg. We'll see you for the game.
Welcome back to Washington High School. 48 seconds remain in this third quarter of the Region 2 championship, and Martinsburg is clinging on to a 6-point lead over Washington at 34-28. Colin McLaughlin alongside me is Nick Verzolini, who's rocking with us all night long here. Our cameraman's Dylan Bishop, and back at the studio, Spencer Dupuis.
You're exactly right, Colin.
Hairston from the free throw line, tried to bake it in. It's no good. Rebounded by Bradley for Martinsburg. She's now triple teamed, passes it behind her head to Sealinger, and a whistle blows, and it's a foul against Washington. It's the third team foul of the half for the Patriots. And that's against Janae Bradley, her first. Sanabria to inbound, full court press, applied by Washington, and immediately on the inbound, Rivera is able to tie up Fitzpatrick. Possession error keeps it with Martinsburg.
I mean, you got to be aware of Mary Rivera at all times. Not the biggest player on the court. Only stands at 5'4". That might be giving her a few extra inches, but I mean, she is relentless, and she fights for every possession, and you see that there, Colin.
And Martinsburg will use its final 30-second timeout. Let's take it with them. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Girls Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since 1989, to fix your water problems. Get better tasting, better smelling, and better looking water today. Say hello to drinking your own delicious water for pennies per gallon. Say yes to healthier skin and hair and to softer and brighter clothes. Sunset Water Services delivers your bags of salt to you, so they'll save your back too. And our products come with a 1-year satisfaction guarantee. Call 304-754-9031 for a free water quality test today. SunsetWater.com.
Welcome back to Washington. Action already resumed after their quick timeout. It's Fitzpatrick, right corner three. It's good. Martinsburg lead extended to 37-28. Fitzpatrick now with 15 points for the Bulldogs.
Well, you said it was a quick 30-second timeout. It's because they knew what they wanted, a Fitzpatrick triple, Colin.
Now Martinsburg steals it. It's Sanabria going up the floor against Rivera. If she would have looked up, she would have had Medina wide open in the paint, but instead it's stolen by Rivera, and the buzzer sounds as Harrison tried to put up a half-court shot. It's no good. At the end of the third, it is Martinsburg 37, Washington 28. Let's step aside for a 1-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School Girls Basketball Quad A Region 2 Championship presented by the Skinner Law Firm. We're back in a minute.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
To Washington High School, Martinsburg 37, Washington 28 in this Region 2 championship. In our other Region 2 championship, Spring Mills leads Jefferson at the end of the third, 37-22. So the Cardinals trying to stay undefeated, only up 15. So still a pretty substantial lead, but not as large as what we're used to by Spring Mills, as Washington opens up the fourth quarter. It's a shot by Hairston from the elbow. No good. Rebounded by Martinsburg.
Yeah, she just hasn't had her shot tonight. But you mentioned 15-point game there, Colin. Jefferson has been the team that's given Spring Mills in the EPAC the toughest challenges.
Bradley to Medina. Medina loses it, kicks it out to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick pump fakes, find Bradley. Bradley up and in from the left block. Bradley now has 9 points, and it's a 39-28 lead. Rivera for three on the other end. It's good. Rivera responds. She now has 15 points, makes it 39-31. Martinsburg up by 8. Santa Maria bringing it up the floor for the Bulldogs. Slowing down the offense as time's on Martinsburg's side to get back to the state tournament.
Yeah, you can really just force Washington out of the zone if you're Martinsburg, because there's no reason for you to attack right now. You're up by 8.
Coach Fitzpatrick just telling them to relax as nobody coming close. Eventually Adams does so to Santa Maria, so she passes it over to Medina. Medina back to Santa Maria. Now very closely is Adams. Adams.
I think you're going to have to go man if you're Coach Edwards.
Medina pump fakes, now drives in, pump fakes another shot, gets it to Strover. Strover to Bradley. Bradley tries to kick it out. Her pass deflected and stolen by Adams. Back the other way goes Washington. Adams pulls up from the top of the key. It's a three-pointer around the rim and good by Lexi Adams. That's her first three of the night. She now has 8 points. It's a 5-point lead for Martinsburg at 39-34 in this fourth quarter with 6:20 to go.
Well, you love the confidence from Lexi Adams. Nobody stopped ball. So she said, okay, I'll do it myself and drain a three.
It's Cadence Bradley.
Really good game here tonight, Colin.
Losing the dribble. Finds Strobel. Strobel's pass deflected to Medina. Brooklyn Medina. It's crossed over, and Martinsburg will use a timeout. They will have one remaining. Let's step aside and take a 30-second break. You're tuned into the Quad A Region 2 Championship presented by the Skinner Law Firm. Your score, Martinsburg 39, Washington 34. We're back in 30 seconds.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
High school. We're in the fourth quarter, and it is a 5-point lead for Martinsburg on top of Washington in the Region 2 Championship. And again, we'd like to thank the Skinner Law Firm Injury and Consumer Rights Lawyers. Call them at 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com, because without them, this broadcast tonight for the Region Championship would not have been possible. So again, thank you to the Skinner Law Firm. Martinsburg ball after the timeout. They have one full timeout remaining. And a 5-second call called against Martinsburg, as Santa Maria did not get the inbound in time, so Washington gets the ball.
Not certain how that happens out of a timeout, but here we go, Colin. 2 first-year head coaches trying to take their team to the state tournament. Final 5:50 to go. Who makes the better adjustments down the stretch?
Adams driving left baseline, layup too hard off the glass. She gets her own rebound, finds Rivera back to Lexi Adams. Adams at the right wing, crosses over Santabria, drives the lane, shot up and good, and the foul is the freshman. Lexi Adams has come alive. She now has 10 points in total, 7 in this half, makes it a one-possession game.
Well, I know that Spring Mills has already arrived as the best team in this league, but Washington has Lexi Adams as a sophomore, Mary Rivera is a sophomore, and they only have one senior on this roster in Toby.
Adams made the free throw. It's now Martinsburg 39, Washington 37. Medina to Santabria at the right wing. She finds Strovel in the right corner. Back to Santabria at the wing. Gives it down low to Bradley. Bradley fouled, makes the shot. She now has another opportunity at a three-point play. What a way to respond for the Bulldogs. And at the wing. Gives it down low to Bradley. Bradley fouled, makes the shot. She now has...
And nobody in the conference can guard her. She's 6'5". If she can just work on her game a little bit, she's going to be very tough to defend.
Bradley's free throws up off the back of the rim, then the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Kendall Etobi for Washington, but it's stolen by Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick layup up and in. Fitzpatrick with 17 points. That makes it now a 43-37 lead for Martinsburg over Washington. Adams finds Hardy down low. Her shot up and good, and she's fouled.
You having fun, Colin?
Yes, these teams not holding back, going back and forth. Is that foul against Cadence Bradley? And that's her fourth, they say. I only had it as her third, but it's her fourth. So she only has one left. It's Hardy's free throw up around the rim and in. Score now 43-40. Martinsburg still leading Washington in the Region 2 championship. Winner goes to the state tournament. Santabria goes past Harrison. Dribbles off her foot, out of bounds. Washington ball.
Good defense again from Madison Hardy, who also has 4 fouls. So it's going to be tough. Wow, they're going to put Bradley on the bench. I know she has 4. But Sellinger hasn't played a whole lot of minutes here down the stretch. It's a tough decision. I think it's the right one, but it can't be too long if you're Coach Fitzpatrick.
Lexi Adams with it. Finds Mary Rivera at the top of the key. Rivera dribbling over to the right wing, trying to call for a pick. Instead, hands it off to Harrison. Harrison picks up her dribble, gives it to Rivera. 4.5 minutes to go in regulation. It's Harrison kicking it out to Adams. Adams pump fakes, finds Rivera. Rivera for 3 to tie it. It's good. We're tied at 43. She now has 18 points as the Patriot faithful, as loud as they've been tonight. 4 minutes to go in the fourth.
Dub High 6-man is alive and well tonight, Colin.
Fitzpatrick guarded by Rivera. It's stolen by Adams. 2v1 goes the other way. Washington's Lexi Adams, right side layup. No good, but she's fouled by Fitzpatrick.
Fall for a second, she rolled her ankle, but she appears to be all right, so good to see. And a smart play by Lexi Adams. She had Rivera open in the corner, but she might have rolled that ankle. Official check in on her. She appears to be all right, though. She's going to tough it out at least.
The freshman Lexi Adams takes a deep breath before a free throw. Shots up and good. Adams has given Washington the lead with 3:57 to go in the fourth at 44-43. And now Bradley will check in. She has 4 fouls for Martinsburg. Santabria, Medina, Bradley, Strovel, and Fitzpatrick on the floor for Martinsburg. Is Adams' second free throw. It's ready to go. It's up, and it's good by Adams. She now has 13 points. Makes it a 2-point lead at 45-43 for Washington.
Well, you mentioned it. Bradley with the 4 fouls, but there is no tomorrow, Colin, so you're not saving her for another game. Either she fouls out or she finishes and you find a way to...
And there you go. She's fouled out. An offensive foul called against Cadence Bradley.
Terrible call.
And they say that she nudged Mary Rivera, and I agree. Rivera's half her size, and she was just trying to pivot, ran into Rivera a little bit. I didn't think that was enough for a foul, but the refs say otherwise. And Bradley has fouled out of the game with 3:45 to go. in the fourth quarter.
You can't make that call. I mean, I'm one to always say, if it's a foul, it's a foul. I didn't see much contact there, and you knew she had 4 fouls, and you just fouled her out on that call. That's a terrible call. I don't like that at all.
Adams to Hairston. Washington now the ones to play keep away as they lead by 2 over Martinsburg. Ball almost gone, and they call a reach-in now against Santa Maria.
So while you can be patient, I don't want to ever go to a non-aggressive, completely offensive style with only a 2-point lead, because that's when you run into trouble.
Yep. And that is the 7th team foul against Martinsburg, which means Washington will now shoot 1-and-1s the rest of the way. Hairston with only 2 points tonight coming in the first half. Tries to extend Washington's lead. Free throw up and good by Ariana Hairston to make it now a 3-point lead for Washington at 46-43.
Hey, Hairston really hasn't had her shot, but if she can make these 2 free throws in a big moment, I mean, those are huge right now for Washington.
Second free throw by Hairston's up and good. It's now a 2-possession game. Martinsburg now trailing 47-43 over Washington, who's looking to make it to the state tournament for the first time in school history. Santa Maria runs into Rivera, and she's called with the blocking foul. That's the 5th team foul of the half for Washington. And that's Rivera's 2nd foul.
You can afford that if you're Mary Rivera. Only her 2nd, only your 5th as a team.
Fitzpatrick gets the inbound. Goes through 2 players, loses her dribble. It's stolen by Hairston. Hairston finds Adams. Adams, left side layup, and she's fouled hard from behind by Santa Maria. Some frustration kicking in for the Bulldogs. And that sends the freshman Lexi Adams to the floor to shoot 2, and she's kind of wobbly. When she hit the floor, it looks like she might have hurt her head. .306 to go. Free throw up and good by Adams. She now has 14 points. Makes it a 48-43 lead for Washington. Adams has 1 more free throw. It's up and around the rim and in. She now has 15 points. 49-43. Washington leads Martinsburg. Santa Maria. Pass stolen. It's Adams. Right side layup, no good, and another foul called from behind, this time against Fitzpatrick. Every time that we've seen Washington with the ball, it seems like it's been fouls.
I mean, Lexi Adams is doing the smart thing. When she's getting these steals, she's going right to the rim. And essentially, if you're Martinsburg, you have 2 options. You either foul her or you let her get an easy layup. So they've been forced to foul, and she's converted so far.
She makes the first. She now has 16 points. Second free throw up, no good. Rebounded by Martinsburg. It's 50-43, Washington leading the Bulldogs. Medina loses her dribble, goes to the floor, whistle blows, jump ball, possession arrow keeps it with Martinsburg. Martinsburg has no answers here this fourth quarter, only 6 points so far. 2:48 remains in the fourth.
Yeah, Bradley's out of the game, so you don't have your post presence as much.
It's been a 22-6 quarter for Washington.
And Fitzpatrick really hasn't found anything, but she's the player you got to get going, I think, Colin, down the stretch.
Nelson has the ball, tries to get it to Fitzpatrick. It's stolen by Kendall Itobi. Rivera to Hairston. Hairston across the court on the far side to Skinner, who slows it down and finds Rivera. Rivera at midcourt, gives it to Skinner. Skinner back to Rivera. Rivera tries to dribble through 2 Bulldogs, loses it, finds Skinner still.
And now Washington can hold. They have a comfortable 7-point lead.
2:10 remains in the fourth. It's 50-43, Washington leading Martinsburg. Skinner will be fouled by Santa Maria, and that's the 10th team foul. That means a double bonus the rest of the way for the Patriots. throw up and good by Skinner. That's her first points of the second half. She has 3 in total. Makes it an 8-point lead for Washington at 51-43. Second one, no good. Ball tipped around and recovered by Adams. Adams to Harrison, and she'll slow it down for Washington, who keeps possession. It's Lexi Adams with the ball, dribbling it and handing it to Rivera at midcourt. Rivera to Skinner. Skinner, guarded by Santa Maria, picks up her dribble. Will now give it to Skinner, and we have a foul away from the ball. And it's against Santa Maria.
And I think she just fouled out.
And she did.
Yeah.
So now Tiana Santa Maria is fouled out with 1:45 to go. So 2-minute difference between her and Bradley. And that sends Skinner to the free throw line to shoot 2. And she makes the first. It makes it 52-43. Washington has dominated the fourth quarter. Second free throw up. That one's good by Skinner. Make it a 10-point lead for the Patriots over Martinsburg. Fitzpatrick with it for the Bulldogs. Passes to Medina. Medina drives in, bounce pass to Nelson. Nelson from the right block shot. No good, but she's caught with a travel anyway. And Coach Fitzpatrick will use the final timeout for the Bulldogs. So Washington fans, to the applause of Coach Edwards, realizing that Washington's getting closer to its first state tournament in school history. Let's take a 30-second break. You're tuned into the Region 2 Championship on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Heffley Motor Company, just off I-81 at 993 Hedgesville Road, is a family-owned and operated business providing the Eastern Panhandle with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles and customer service since 1997. Heffley is a pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer. We're proud to be your partner, serving the community. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Call us at 304-267-7172 or see us at 993 Hedgesville Road. And if you want to sell your car, we buy cars too. Check us out at Heffley.com. Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
Welcome back to Washington High School. Our fourth quarter brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first, as well as WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. 53-43, the Washington Patriots now lead the Martinsburg Bulldogs with 1:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Lexi Adams across the court to Skinner. Skinner is fouled by Fitzpatrick. And that will send Skinner back to the free throw line. That's Fitzpatrick's fourth, not fifth. Foul. Skinner's free throw off the back of the iron, no good. 1:27 remains in the fourth. Skinner still has one free throw attempt for Washington.
Martinsburg still has a few opportunities here, Colin, but you need to push it and get some good shots.
Second free throw up and good. Fitzpatrick with it, trailing 54-43, and Fitzpatrick is just fouled out as taking the charge was Mary Rivera. That's the third Bulldog to foul out. As Fitzpatrick's night is done at the 1:21 mark in the fourth quarter. She finishes with 17 points. And I think that's the final nail in the coffin, Nick, for the Bulldogs.
You foul out 3 of your top scorers, and Coach Fitzpatrick realizes it as well. He hugs his daughter, Kayla, after a really great season here at Martinsburg. And you get in some of your seniors and your bench players that haven't played so far.
Yeah,
on both sides.
An emotional moment for the Fitzpatricks as Kayla did not want her senior year to end this way, fouling out with 1:21 to go. As Rivera with it for Washington, guarded by Nelson, loses her dribble, stolen by Rodriguez, and Rodriguez now gets tied up with Campbell of Washington. Whistle blows, jump ball possession error keeps it with the Patriots. Minute 12 to go in the fourth.
For Kayla Fitzpatrick and this Martinsburg team, I mean, she had a great season. They had an excellent turnaround. This was a one-win team a season ago. nobody would have thought that they would be in this position with a chance and really had a chance to win this game here tonight to go to the state tournament.
We have a final score from the other side of this region. Spring Mills is headed back to the state tournament. They win 53-30 over Jefferson. Skinner makes the free throw. She now has a 55-43 lead for Washington over Martinsburg. And 7 points in total for Skinner. Second free throw, no good, rebounded by Medina for Martinsburg. She'll try to go coast to coast. And her dribble almost lost. Eventually, she does lose it, but a foul from behind called against Skinner. With 57.9 seconds remaining in the fourth. It's a 55-43 lead for Washington.
Yeah, if you're Washington, you can't foul here, even though you've pretty much got it in the bag. You don't want to allow Martinsburg to score from the line.
Pass trying to go down low to Baker. It's stolen by Rivera. Rivera to Skinner. Skinner is fouled by Green. That'll send Skinner back to the free throw line to shoot two.
Yeah, she's been able to add those free throws. Pretty good free throw shooter is Addison Skinner.
Skinner, all of her points here in the second half have come from the free throw line. She has 7 points in total. Makes this one, so now she has 8 points. Make it 56-43. Second free throw, no good. A whistle blows, and we have a foul against Washington, and that's Conti with 43.1 seconds to go. That'll allow Martinsburg to go down and shoot free throws, as that's the 7th team foul against Washington. And Baker will have an opportunity to score for Martinsburg as an opportunity to end a very long scoring drought.
That's true. And you get one of your bench players an opportunity to get some points here late as well.
It's a 28-6 fourth quarter for Washington over Martinsburg as Baker's free throw up and no good. Goes out of bounds, last off Nelson of Martinsburg.
Yeah, both these hurt if you're Martinsburg, or this one hurts here tonight if you're Martinsburg. You know, you had the lead for a good majority, but Washington found a way to bounce back and get the win.
Rivera guarded closely by Nelson. Nelson tips the dribble. It goes out of bounds. Last off Nelson. It remains Washington ball. Nelson gets dabbed up by her coach, Ronnie Fitzpatrick, as even though this one pretty much said and done, you like to see the fight from Kayla Nelson.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you preach all year. You know, we're not going to give up until that last whistle blows.
Skinner slowing it down for Washington, finds Rivera. Rivera trying to play keep away now with the Patriots. It's Skinner, and Skinner is fouled again by Green. 19.2 seconds remain. It is Washington 56, Martinsburg 43. Skinner back to the free throw line. It's been her home the entire second half, and she makes the first. She now has 9 points, 7 of them from the free throw line. Second free throw up. That one's good. They give her 10 points. 58-43 now. Washington leads. Baker in the paint, shot up and good. The scoring drought finally ends for Martinsburg. Make it 58-45. Michaels with the ball for Washington, and she'll just hold it, allow the clock to hit 0. And for the first time in comeback fashion and in school history, the Washington Patriots are going to the Quad A Girls State Basketball Tournament. Final score, Washington 58, Martinsburg 45. What an ending. They were down 37-28 entering the fourth quarter. They outscore Martinsburg 30-8 in the fourth. They get the Patriots the win as both teams will shake hands at midcourt. Martinsburg will head to the locker room. Washington will celebrate the region championship. And Coach Edwards is fired up as we try to get Dylan Bishop to track him down so that we can interview him. The student section will storm the court now, tackling some of the players. Hopefully no injuries because they got Charleston next week. But what a time it is. Again, for the first time in school history, the Washington Patriots head to the state tournament. It's Dylan Bishop. Does not look like he was able to get Coach Edwards. Let's step
he's
aside.
Get him, but right now we probably have to wait.
Let's step aside for now. Take a 2-minute break. You're tuned into West Virginia High School girls basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
This is Eric at Hancock Chevrolet. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hancock Chevrolet, it is that easy. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hancock Chevrolet will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time in a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Cumberland to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hancock Chevrolet absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HancockChevy.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want, and your new ride will be delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
And the streak continues! CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on a bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
Welcome back to Washington High School as the Patriots get the win over the Martinsburg Bulldogs 58-45 as Washington, for the first time in school history, is headed to the state tournament. It looks like in the crowd of Washington faithful, Dylan Bishop finally has Coach Rashawn Edwards for an interview. So once Coach Edwards can get the water off of him as the team dumped the water on him, we can send it down to him. So Dylan, let's send it down to you.
All right, Coach, you guys losing, coming into the fourth quarter, what was the difference in that last quarter to be able to come back and get this game and get the victory, win the regional championship?
I just told them, we just had to pick up. We had to turn, fix some things on defense. They were able to do that. They responded. They kept fighting, and we just didn't keep our. They didn't hang their heads. They kept fighting. They kept playing. That's all it was about.
School's first trip to the state tournament. What does that mean for you as a coach and for these players and for the school in general?
It's tremendous for them. I'm extremely proud of them. They bought into what we wanted to do. When they bought in, they were able to do something special. So I'm extremely proud of them.
All right, congrats. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Dylan Bishop, as well as Coach Rashawn Edwards, as we welcome you into the post-game show brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. I'm Colin McLaughlin. Alongside me is Nick Verzolini. You just heard from Dylan Bishop back at the studio, Spencer Dupuis. And Nick, what a game. It was 37-28 Martinsburg heading into the fourth. It was a 9-point lead for the Bulldogs. And then they let it slip. 3 of the starters foul out in the fourth, and Washington was able to have a 30-8 fourth quarter. They get the win. What are your thoughts about the game?
It never really felt like Washington was out of it, even after a first quarter where you put up just 4 points. It just seemed like you knew Washington would find a way with their talent level to get back into the game. But Martinsburg, I thought, had a really good game plan, did some great things. But you got to give credit to how Washington executed down the stretch. Martinsburg didn't execute down the stretch. Foul trouble really hurt them. And even though Washington had a few players in foul trouble, they were still able to hold on tonight and find a way to win. Madison Hardy had 4 fouls. Lexi Adams had 4 fouls. And when she picked up her 4th, you were really worried, I think, if you were a Washington fan, that the Patriots wouldn't pull it out. But Coach Edwards trusts her in the final few minutes, and they find a way to pull it out, and a great win for the Patriots on a really what was a very competitive and good girls basketball game tonight. Even though it ends up being a 13-point final, this was a lot of fun. These two teams really battled.
Let's now get into our game stats, brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer in Route 11 south of Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. And let's start with the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Leading scorer tonight was Fitzpatrick with 17 points, followed by Bradley with 11. Santa Maria had 8 points, Shrovel had 3, Baker had 2, and Medina had 2. For Washington, I got to look through my chicken scratch here. It looks like the leading scorer was Rivera with 18 points tonight. Behind her was Adams with 16. Skinner had 10 points. Hardy had 6. And then Itobi and Harrison had 4 points each. So those are your game stats, again, brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers. And your final score was Washington 58, Martinsburg 45. Let's now get into our awards tonight, Nick, as we watch and wait for the cutting of the net here at Washington High School. And let's start off with the rejection of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street, Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service at great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call them at 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Nick, what's your rejection of the game tonight?
I'm going to go with Mary Rivera's rejection early in the second quarter on Brooklyn Medina. For Rivera being only 5'4", I think that was a pretty impressive block that she had, and that would have to be my rejection of the game.
Alrighty, how about your moment of the game, brought to you by Chris Ross and Milestone Real Estate Group. Buying or selling a home, call 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com.
Mary Rivera hits a 3 to tie the game, and then Lexi Adams comes through with a steal and draws a foul to give Washington the lead. And that from that point forward, they never looked back, Colin. That would be my moment of the game there in the fourth quarter.
Are you going a similar route for your player of the game then, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance? For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 at Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg.
You got to go Lexi Adams. The way she played in the fourth quarter, she was the closer. She only had 5 points entering the fourth. She finishes with 16. I think down the stretch, she's well deserving of the player of the game. She made some really good passes throughout this one as well. Just a really solid player, part of a very exciting and young backcourt for the Washington Patriots that's just going to continue to get better and better and make this team. This won't be their only trip, I don't think, to States, based on what we've seen this year and how young they are.
Yes, again, congratulations to both teams on a hard-fought season, as Washington will head to the state tournament for the first time in program history. Before we wrap things up here at Washington High School, again, like to give a huge thank you to the Skinner Law Firm for helping us be able to broadcast tonight's game. For those that might not know, for regional championships, the WVSSAC requires broadcasts to pay them to be able to broadcast the game, and this year they raised their price a little bit, and it was a little bit too much for us originally, so without the Skinner Law Firm helping out, chipping in to provide this broadcast for you guys, it would not have been possible. So thank you, Skinner Law Firm, for helping us out tonight. You can call them at 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com. For Spencer Dupuis, Dylan Bishop, Nick Verzolini, I'm Colin McLaughlin, signing off here from Washington High School as the Patriots beat the Martinsburg Bulldogs 58-45. Until Friday night for the Section 1 championship in high school boys basketball, have a good night, everyone.
Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market. Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
Welcome into the studio for the And One post-game scoreboard show, brought to you by Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Company, here for the post-game And One scoreboard show. When it comes to your home, auto, farm, or business, they're trusted, reliable, and experienced. Call them at 304-263-0809 or go to FMIWV.com. What a great night of basketball here on Talk Radio WRNR, as well as WRNR TV on YouTube. Once again, Colin did it. I'll do it again. Thank you to the Skinner Law Firm. Very grateful for them helping us out last second, very short notice to get this game on the air. As he mentioned, regional streaming fees are what the SSAC does. They did raise the rates a little bit comparatively to where they were last year, so shout out to the Skinner Law Firm for coming in clutch there. As we mentioned, it was a 58-45 victory for Washington in comeback fashion. They were down by 6 at halftime, 25-19. Headed into the fourth quarter, they were even down. A major comeback to get the win, their first regional championship and first time punching their ticket to Charleston in school history. And great job with Dylan Bishop to be able to get the post-game interview, and got to see a little bit of the post-game celebration. And then across in the EPAC in Region 2, Spring Mills gets a 23-30 victory over Jefferson. That was expected. Jefferson did give him fits for a while, though. It was a 25-17 game at a halftime, and it was as much as a 12 or 10-point game at some points towards the end of that one. And just a great overall night by the two Region 2 teams. I'm going to get you as many scores as I can from around the whole state here, as maybe by the end of tonight we'll post on our social media platforms, try to get it when possible, of the matchups headed into the state tournament, as a lot of these games have gone final. But I will give you the ones that I have right here, and then I'll go searching for you momentarily. In Region 3, we have both finals there. Don't have any finals from Region 1, have both finals from Region 4. So we'll see how things play out here. I'm going to go double check in momentarily. But we'll start with Region 3 going down from Region 2, which our classification of the schools we cover are in. It's Woodrow Wilson knocking off South Charleston 65-40. They make it back to the state tournament. Woodrow Wilson, also known as Beckley, makes it to the state tournament. Princeton knocks off George Washington 36-34. From what I understand via Twitter, that was a great ball game, and the Patriots missed a buzzer beater 3 that would have sent them to the state tournament. I was going to say to Charleston. They're already in Charleston, as that's where George Washington is. We'll now move down to Region 4 here in Quad A. Spring Valley beats Parkersburg 58-49. They punched their ticket. Spring Valley is going to go from Canova all the way 45, 50-minute drive to Charleston here for the state tournament. Also, a close one between Cabell Midland and St. Albans. And Cabell Midland gets the win 61-58. So we'll give you here, I'm going to try and find some other scores here as we refresh the Twitter sphere live right here on Talk Radio WRNR and on WRNR TV on YouTube. We do have the seeds. But I'll get the other scores here for you once I can find them. But the seeds will be thus very important. Let me see if I can find a Buchanan Upshur Wheeling Park score or a Morgantown University score, as we're going to try and find some right here as we go along live. But a great ball game tonight between these two teams. It was a huge comeback for Washington to defeat Martinsburg tonight. I don't have the final scores here as I'm trying to go through, but I do have these seedings. We do actually have a Buchanan Upshur and Wheeling Park score. Wheeling Park wins 74-34 over Buchanan Upshur. So in Region 1, that is decided. Wheeling Park will go to the state championship, or state tournament, and trying to find university scores down here. Let me see if I can find one here. Last I saw was at the end of the third quarter, Morgantown up 30-24. Let's see if we've got an updated score on that. I don't believe so, but that is a major game going on with implications to where seeds are. But the seeds are out from what I understand via Twitter. Let me just read those off via Tyler Jackson. He is the sports editor and director for Loot Press here in the state of West Virginia. It appears the number 1 seed will be the Wheeling Park. Wheeling Park in at the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed will be Morgantown as they defeat University. So Motown gets in to defeat University there. In the 3rd seed right now, it has Spring Valley. These are all per Tyler Jackson of Loot Press, not officially from the SSAC yet. We should get those here in the next couple of hours. But Spring Valley comes in at 3. Cabell Midland comes in at 4. Kind of interesting here. You have the only undefeated team in the state. We'll talk about this on the Sports Mix tomorrow for sure. Spring Mills, they get a 5th seed. Now, that is ridiculous. We will continue to talk about that on the Sports Mix tomorrow. But Spring Mills, according to Tyler Jackson of Loot Press, the state tournament seeds are Spring Mills at the 5th seed. In the 6th seed will be Woodrow Wilson Beckley. In the 7th seed will be Princeton. And for the first time in school history, Washington gets to the state tournament as expected. As they didn't receive any votes anywhere, they get the 8th seed in this one. But once those are official and the games are official, I believe it will be 8-1. It'll be Washington playing Wheeling Park in the first round. That is going to be a tough ball game. And then it'll be Morgantown, Princeton, Woodrow Wilson, Spring Valley, and it will be Spring Mills, Cabell Midland. This is per Tyler Jackson of Loot Press. We'll get the official ones out to you once we have that. But again, some big finals around the region with Washington clinching their first state tournament berth in school history, a 58-45 comeback victory over Martinsburg. But congratulations to Martinsburg. First-year head coach Ronnie Fitzpatrick led them to the regional final after a down year last year. So they've probably got some more in for next year. And over to Spring Mills. Spring Mills defeats Jefferson 53-30. According to where we have right now, it'll be Spring Mills in the 5th seed and Washington in the A seed. Washington will play number 1 Wheeling Park, and Spring Mills doesn't get enough respect around the state. They will take on Cabell Midland. Somehow, Spring Mills gets the 5th seed. But we'll get you here. We do have the all EPAC teams for girls basketball. Don't have those for boys basketball yet, but for girls basketball, we do have those here, and we will get going to those. Let me just pull them up here again. They came out this afternoon, and none other, not expected. I think everybody expected this one, but Reagan Edsel of Spring Mills gets the Conference Player of the Year. Head coach George Goss gets the Coach of the Year for another undefeated team. Reagan Edsel is joined on the first team by her teammates Kyla Dandridge and Olivia Bolduc. Other first-team members are Kyla Fitzpatrick and Cadence Bradley of Martinsburg, Serenity Ritchie of Musselman, Kelsey Van Dyne of Hedgesville, Mackenzie Brezovic of Jefferson, Lexi Adams and Mary Rivera of Washington. Second teamers include Olivia Hedrick, Jasmine Taylor of Jefferson, Ariana Hairston, Kendall Atobi of Washington, Nevaeh Thompson of Musselman, and Corinne Edsel of Spring Mills. But that's really all we have for you on the local sports side. Tonight on the radio here in about an hour, we'll get you into pregame coverage for the Capitals and the Anaheim Ducks. And the Capitals, once again, making moves today. They traded away a pick, or they traded away another player. That's Lars Eller, got traded today. They traded him for a second-round pick. They're stockpiling picks, and they're expected to move Connor Sherry. But we'll wrap things up here tonight and get you back on the radio to CBS Sports Radio, and then on TV, on the YouTube. It'll be end of the stream. But once again, tonight, Washington gets the comeback win 58-45 over Martinsburg, and they head to the state tournament for the first time in school history. Spring Mills, they get another victory in their region championship, 53-30 over Jefferson. They're headed back to the state tournament. But that will do it for me. For our crew, our whole crew tonight, Dylan Bishop, Colin McLaughlin, Nick Verzolini, I'm Spencer Dupuis signing off. We'll talk to you tomorrow in the Sports Mix. We'll have the interview that we had tonight with Coach Edwards from Washington. Hopefully we'll have EPAC Girls Head Coach of the Year, George Goss, on the show tomorrow. But stay tuned, 12:08 on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10 and TV 10 on Facebook. But good night, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball. Today's game has been brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, CMA Honda of Winchester, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Hagerstown Ford, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, and WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.